Okay, so I'm gonna talk about two interesting things I made today. Uh, One is revisiting ramen. Now, I love ramen. Uh, Japan has a lot of great ramen shops around, but I'm really curious about what makes it, that gives it that basic oomph, like that, you know, what gives ramen its power. For me, it's always the broth. So, the broth makes a huge difference, I feel. I mean, there's many things that make a good ramen, but I mean, the broth for me is like the base. And in music, too, I think the broth would be considered the bass, bass, the low tones, which if you take out of the song, the song is different. It's not the same anymore. It's fundamental to its existence almost. So, for me, ramen, I always think of the broth, and then everything else is just on top of it. So, pork broth, you have chicken broth, and you gotta have some kind of animal broth, otherwise there's no taste to it. So today I bought ribs, just regular ribs. They call them soki in Okinawa, pork ribs, and there's bone. And what I learned today though was, now I love to cook all the bone meats, as I said before in my previous video. I love to cook them in an instant pot because it's fire and forget. You're guaranteed juicy, plumpy meats at the end, and like it's sped up by a factor of 3 to 4. Like if it takes you 8 hours, 2 hours. Like it's a huge difference, right? You wake up at 10 in the morning. Oh, you got a hankering for ramen maybe later. Well, it'll be ready by 12 if you use the instant pot. If you don't and go the traditional way, you'll be eating it for dinner. That's not gonna work, man. So, but again, GPT now, new age, new dawn of information. Like I used to be obsessive about ramen. When my wife was with me, I forced her really to make ramen. I have a video proving that it's good. My kids were like, their eyes lit up when they drank this kind of soup, and not anything else. The supermarkets here will sell you all kinds of weird, like, oh, just put that into your soup, it'll make it into a broth. Not the same thing. Most of the background, oh my godness, from a ramen is because at a ramen shop, they are cooking these big cartilage, bony, like, parts of the pig or the chicken for 8 hours, 12 hours. It's like, and they mix a lot of stuff, and the exact recipe is not made, and they perfect it, right? Well, at home, I think you can get 60% of the way there if you just use the same thing, like the bones, cartilage. It's a no-brainer to me. Why people don't do it this way, that's puzzling. There's other like weird ways of doing it, but this for me is like how you get, at least to me, 60 to 70% of the actual feel of a real ramen. That thick gelatin, like it's like a milky kind of, you know what I'm talking about. So, brings us now to, this is what you get straight out of an instant pot. I removed the meats from the meat portions from the bones, from the ribs. But I thought the bones still had flavor left in them, so I threw them into so what I didn't know was, and GPT explained this beautifully to me, is that you need emulsification. And in Japanese, they call it nyuka, which is like, it literally means milkification. They use the kanji for the word milk, which means you make something into a creamy, milky texture. Doesn't mean you actually have milk. You take a liquid like this, and you want to turn it into something like this. Like this. Now it's not transparent anymore. And that's not because I added something to it. I didn't add cream, milk. I didn't add anything. It's just what happened was, between this stage, and you see it progressing even more as a final product, and then this, the only difference is that it was boiling for about, I would say, 20 to 30 minutes as I was eating the meat from the ribs, and preparing other stuff. That's all that happened, really. And why? And I didn't know this, but it's the emulsification. This is emulsified. This is not emulsified. The emulsification has started. It's almost there. And that was the finished product. Now, is this 100%? I don't like to think about the authentic thing, okay? I'm just trying to get behind the science of it. It does look creamier and more non-transparent, right? It's translucent now. And that's because the fat particles, the oils, are now suspended, quote unquote. It's like it's broken down. And the primary way this works is that the boiling, the bubbles, the rapid bubbling in boiling water, it like breaks apart the fats. And can you speed it by stirring it rapidly? And Jimmy said you can, but actually it's the rapid boiling which creates a lot of bubbles, like a lot of tiny micro bubbles you don't even see form and pop very quickly. That's what creates the agitation required to break apart the fats, make them swim into the liquid, the water that it's in, and it all, I guess you can think it's like homogenizing it in a way. Like it's like basically, instead of having water and fat and gelatin all separate, it's all like mixed in now. And boiling water is the only way you can get that to happen. You cannot get that to happen in an Instant Pot because the Instant Pot is not mechanically moving. So the hacky thing here is, instead of taking 8 hours to do it the proper way, Instant Pot, get the non-emulsified broth. It's got all the goodies in there anyway. And then emulsify it quickly in like 30 minutes by boiling in hot water. And why? Because the soup doesn't taste like separate water fat. It has a much better texture. It's like milky. It's good. It's very good. And then you can add more salt to it. Apparently, doing this allows more salt and sauces to be added to the ramen soup. For some reason, the saltability is a thing that varies with emulsified level. I didn't know that. And it kind of works. I didn't add that much salt, but I can add more. I'm pretty sure the real ramen shops give you a shit ton of salt because they want to have, impact. At home, you can tailor that to be like a little bit less, a little bit healthier. I think this is extremely healthy ramen. Because what is this? It's just the collagen, the fat, and flavors from the pork broken down from the meats in water. You add nothing here, right? It's just emulsify it. And at the end, I added like some soy sauce, some salt, some meat, very inoffensive amounts, and it tastes great. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. Yeah, and that's like a hacky way I think to get ramen done is you get the meats cooked. The bony meats can't be just gotta be bony, like thick, like stuff your average shopper wouldn't buy kind of meats, and you nuke it in the Instant Pot, comes out juicy and plumpy. And then you emulsify that liquid in a regular skillet, and you just give it like 30 minutes of boiling, and it becomes creamy like this. And this, we haven't even touched like what you add to it. You can add all kinds of stuff to it to make it taste salt, soy sauce, garlic, onion, whatever. Like the broth. I thought onion was a pretty good match for this because pork is pretty strong. I prefer chicken actually these days, but nevertheless, that is the first thing. Now, the next one is about the Tsaziki sauce. Right, so for me, 2 breakthroughs about this one. I made this for a long time, but now I think there's a much easier way to do this. Look, it's really just dried yogurt and dried cucumber in a mix. I think that's the base of tzatziki. You gotta have the cucumber and you gotta have the yogurt. I mean, without those two, I think it's different. And the drying part was what always kind of annoyed me because it's like, you can't have it right now, right? But it really, to me, only takes about 2 to 3 hours. I think you can wait longer and longer and longer, and you get even drier and drier and drier, and it's better because soggy tzatziki is not good. It's better when it's dry. Like, it's weird. It's like you want to get the whey out of the W-H-E-Y out of yogurt. And with cucumber, I have like a food processor. I just quickly chop. I used to want to like grate it manually. I'm like, fuck no. That's such a pain in the ass. I just chop in like 5 chunks, throw into the processor, 3 seconds, done. And then I just dump it into the. So you gotta strain both of them. So I strain both the cucumber diced, and you strain the yogurt, and you put them in a bowl and you mix. That's like 80% done. That's all. That's the hard part. And the rest is, and this I didn't know. You gotta add salt. I kept taste testing it. You need salt. Didn't know that actually. You cannot leave out salt, otherwise it lacks a commercial punch. And then I started with just using the regular Japanese like rice vinegar, not quite. And I added like a bit of the. I mean, Jubini said use red wine vinegar. Don't have that on hand. Let me try it next time. I just use white wine vinegar, which I had. It's different. It's not a cosmetic whatever. It actually has a different taste. I'm pretty sure it added that extra punch I was looking for. Not sure. I'm pretty sure though. It just doesn't seem right to add rice vinegar to a Western dish like this. But the white vinegar added a lot, but the salt was crazy good. And then no olive oil. I used I think it was some kind of like healthy omega-3 oil from Amazon, Blue Label, whatever. I don't know what the hell it is. It's like very flavorless, but very good for you too if you don't cook it. Oh, and garlic. Just 1 clove though. Could have gone 2 cloves. But like, the garlic is very important. It adds an extra zing to it. It's zingy, right? If you ever eat raw garlic, it's very zingy. Karai, they say in Japanese. They actually call it spicy, but really I think it's more like zingy. So it adds a zing to it, and it's actually 1 whole cucumber in here. Like small though. I mean, Japanese cucumber is very small, and 1 whole like can of yogurt, which is also smaller in Japan. It's great. I mean, I put on a salad. It's really good. I had some like Parmesan cheese. It's really good. The tomatoes, the Okinawan tomatoes are really good with this. It's so good. It's so good. You know, the things about dressings that we use, like the Caesar salads and the Italian, they're good, but they're what I call commercial good. Okay, like commercially good. They always add sugar and some kind of like fake ass like acidity like enhancer. And they always add like some kind of fake ass, like they always add like vegetable oils, which really aren't that good for you. This is just yogurt, cucumber, very healthy omega-3 oils, garlic, freshly diced, right? It's good for you. And even though it lacks a commercial punch, I'm telling you, there's something. Fresh yumminess and commercial yumminess are different buckets. If you let your brain and your gut get used to commercial yumminess, I think it's not good for your health and well-being overall. I kid you not, because I was running low on groceries, I went shortcutty. I started eating French fries. And I felt depressed, moody. I know it's probably placebo, possibly, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, placebo or not, being in a state of well-being is the most precious thing you can have on this. Think about it, right? Who wants anxiety, stressed out, all that shit, lost control over your emotions, and nobody wants this. So if you can get to a state of like, I feel good, stable. It doesn't matter if it's placebo or not. You know what I mean by that? At that point, who cares, right? Like, and I do think though the sugars that I ate recently broke me down a little bit. I don't like sugar. I think, and I was like really appalled to see that mayonnaise contains quite a hefty amount of sugar. No wonder why it's so easily delicious, right? So this is a great salad dressing in my mind, okay? And you can add like gomayu. It's really good. Gomayu is really good too, as an oil on top. It's kind of weird Asian Western mix. Whatever it takes to make this raw lettuce like palatable, great. And then like, but they're really good. The tomatoes, the Okinawan tomatoes are so good. Compared to like what I get from Fukuoka. It's just, I don't know. It's sweeter, tastier. I have no fucking clue what it is. I was very disappointed today in my grocery shipment. It got my mini tomatoes. It was from goddamn Fukuoka, whatever the hell it was. I don't know, some kind of Kyushu, whatever. I want Okinawan tomatoes. I live here. It's so weird they don't sell it. It's weird. But anyway. You don't need lemon. Lemon's a bitch. I don't know. It's very expensive to get lemons in Japan. You need some kind of like sour taste though to complement the yogurt. Like salt. So you want salty, you want soury, You want tangy with the garlic. And you want creamy. That's from the yogurt. I kind of wonder where the sweetness comes from. Maybe there isn't any, but you got all those those dimensions of yumminess or the flavors in the sauce. It's really healthy. A lot better than consuming the yogurt with like fruit jams or fruit sauces, which are loaded with sugar, loaded. Yeah, I'm pretty anti-sugar at this point. I'm also anti like fake sugar too, aspartame. Like fuck that shit. Anyway, look at that. See? You eat like the old days, closer to the old days. Tzatziki sauce is a very old sauce, by the way. It's really, really old, right? It's like, I think it dates back centuries, centuries, and centuries. It's great shit, man. I think you mix the porks, maybe pork meat, but I think lean meats will taste good with this because if you have like a chicken breast or like lean meat, because this adds the fatty part that's missing. On another note, before I forget, my cousin convinced me to buy an air fryer. Damn, I don't like that shit though. It's like a microwave, man. It tastes so fucking fake. Like everything comes out of them air fryer. I'm like, the fries taste wrong. The meat tastes a bit weird. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I think it's overrated. She'll talk to me later about the recipes she uses for she said teriyaki chicken. Like, really? See, my chef also is skeptical of the air fryer, but I want to keep an open mind. I'm like, maybe the chef's being like a bit too pompous or a bit too. He's not. My chef's right. The air fryer is a bit. If I had to buy it, I want to refund it, but I can't. I'd have no use for that thing. There's only one thing I can use it for, and that's a breakfast thing. It's like, you have butter and bread, and like it's always so fucking annoying to melt the butter. I swear to God, like you can have, of all the million genius ways you can get, I hate the cognitive bandwidth of, oh shit, I forgot to melt the butter early and shit. It's always like the order is toast bread, go to fridge, get the butter out, and put it in, right? And then like at that point, it's like it's hard as fuck. You can't spread it evenly. Well, guess what? That is where the air fryer came in the most handy because you stick in the air fryer, it's such a 4 minutes, wait, ready to fucking spread right away. I even like to add a slice of mozzarella cheese in there because it melts and it glues to the bread. It's really fucking good. But other than that, in the air fryer, I tried it with meats, didn't like it. Tried it with fries, did not like that either. I'm pretty sure I'm doing it right, by the way. To confirm, I tested it with a regular frying pan and vegetable oil. It's way better. Like it's not even like close. It's not like the air fryer was like 50%. It's like 30% of the yumminess of using a frying pan. That makes it like completely worthless in my book. It's just not that good. The meats were just, I wasted a good piece of meat, I felt. And even with like the soki, the ribs, I tried to put in the air fryer. It's not the same. I'd rather use the grill inside here. It's different. They're different kinds of heat. That one's convection, complete convection heat, dry as hell heat. It's just it's like an air dryer basically, and the grill is a radiant heat. Like it's actual fire. Okay, and whatever it is, human minds are like caveman style. They just love foods cooked over fires. Evolution just doesn't catch up. I don't know, but anyway, I'm not that crazy about the air fryer. I think it's kind of a waste of money. Oh well, lives and learns. But that's it for today's my cooking thoughts.